What is going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates. This is your review for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 13, Episode 1, really quickly. I know it's late. This week has been weekend life, been lifing. Yeah. So, look, for the remainder of this year, y'all might get reviews late, but dang that, but you gonna get them, okay? All right. Glad we got that out the way. So let's get into this. Because it's two pieces that I'm like, we really gonna talk. So a lot of this we just finna breeze by, but it's two pieces that I'm like, we gotta talk. So Dorit meets with this lady called Eagle Woman. She's a spiritual healer. Her assistant, Blue Raven. Dorit wants the women to, help her heal this group because of how chaotic last year was, especially the reunion. And PK is very cynical when it comes to this group because it's just like, oh, you finna heal this group? Good luck. So then we get the actual event. Kyle is nervous to be around the women because, she's in essence kind of on the outs with them. You'll get over it. See, because Kyle's situation is one of those that I'm gonna talk about because there's a duplicitous there. They're like, it's two pieces there where it's I get you, but then it's the other part I don't get you, but we'll get there. Sutton has a horse in the Netherlands. I'm like, come on, Sutton. I know a lot of people like to watch the Housewives for this, extravagant life. I just like to see people with a little bit more money than me go through some of the same stuff as me. And just keep it a buck. But yes, Sutton got that money, so I ain't even mad. And I think every show, for the most part, like we have her on here. We have, what's her name? Oh my God, I cannot. Heather on OC. So, we have them sprinkled here and there. Erica is weird because, she was a BI last year and her friend is not here this season. That was the piece where once she said, I'm like, okay, you're being forthcoming. Letting us know since you don't have Renna in your corner, you finna be eating some crow and you probably finna sit here and do some other, crazy stuff. Okay, all right, I see you. And she has lost weight, says it's hormones. All right. So now the actual events start. Dorit feels hurt by Erica when by what she said at BravoCon. And that, her and PK are, pretty much heading, to Splitsville. I'm not even gonna lie, when that popped up on social media and I heard about it, what that literally gave me was, okay, they're setting up storylines for next season. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. That's what I felt. Like, let's go ahead, let's get some of this stuff kind of like cemented now, especially if contracts are on the verge. Because let's be clear, Dorit didn't have nothing popping last year. So yeah, that was my whole thing. But maybe it really did hurt her feelings. I don't know. Erica claims that she didn't want to answer. That seemed performative. Dorit feels that she said it for attention, which she did. Erica says she's a showman and she gave the people what they want. Dorit thought, she would have led with an apology and not been defensive. See, that's one thing about y'all is that y'all just be expecting actually, the Potomac women are way worse. They just be, we ain't even there yet. We got one more week, y'all. We got one more week. Anyway, so Erica says, she wasn't defending it. She was just giving an explanation. It was a shady question. She gave a shady answer and then asked her, is your marriage strong? I'm like, ooh. Now, look, even though Erica got on my nerves last season, I do like her matter of factness and the fact that she's just keeping it above. Though she was tone deaf as hell last season. I mean, I kind of do like that energy, but I'm not going to lie. And it took Dorit a minute to answer the question. Actually, before I get there, hold on, wait. Sutton says in her interview that the only rumor she has heard about PK and Dorit is when he had the DUI situation and there may or may not have been a woman in the car. So then Dorit, in I guess the actual scene, eventually says, that, they do have a strong relationship. They went through a rough year and then she says, Erica, you're hurting. So you lash out. It's mean spirited. which this is, shades of Dorit being old Dorit. I believe it was season 5 Dorit. But we gonna see how long that lasts. I don't want to give it too much. And where my Erica says that they all hurt each other's feelings in the group. She apologized for being rough and vicious to the group. That seemed very performative, but there's the apology. And one thing that Garcel said at the reunion last year, because I rewatched the reunion, prior to watching this episode, is with this group. Once somebody apologizes, you kind of just have to accept it and just move on because you look like the crazy person wanted to, continue to talk about it, which is something that a lot of people do where they'll quickly throw out, oh, I'm sorry. And even though you still have more to say, is I just said, I'm sorry, why are we still talking about it? And to really make you look kind of crazy, like that's kind of what this seemed like. So Kyle addresses the group and says, the stuff, with Kathy hurt her. Kyle felt alone. She tells us that she expected more from Dorit and Sutton. First off, why Sutton? Especially with how you dog walked her last season. But you didn't expect more from Lisa and Erica, one of which is still presently on the show. You ain't got no smoke for her. And again, she didn't say this to Sutton, but again, why Sutton? Okay. And then, she pretty much says that she feels, Sutton is trying to get close to Kathy because, she wants to go to these Kathy Hilton parties. I don't really think that's the case. But, I mean, if we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about money and how money talk BS Walt, I'm pretty sure Sutton would have more in common with Kathy than she does you. Just saying. So Kyle, then says that, hold on, wait. I'm sorry, no, Garcel says she felt for her, but was confused because she didn't go after the women that were coming for her sister. I'm like, Garcel, if you don't speak a word. Facts. So it's one of those, like, it's hard to have, because again, they empathize with it, but it's hard to have sympathy when because again, I rewatched the reunion today. You let those women sit there and all you could do is sit there and because Kathy even told her, you're trying to be a martyr. You're not a martyr. Stop it. So Kyle says she's not a punching bag and will not defend someone who is coming for her. Yeah, so she's not going to defend somebody who is constantly coming for her. And I guess I can go ahead and so here's my whole thing when it comes to Kyle. On the one hand, I do understand it because I have something similar where me and my eldest male sibling don't always see it. Right now, it's a truce. I've agreed to be cordial for reasons. But before then, I was on it. And the issue, and I understand how it is to have a sibling who is the eldest, who kind of feels like they are the parent when you're not. Because they are the oldest, they have other people's ear. Chances are they're probably going to be the matriarch or patriarch, depending on the gender of your respective family. So they have that power. They expect that power. Even if we do the whole generation thing, I get all of that. And when you don't do what they want you to, when you don't do what they want you to do, then since they can't control you, or they don't have as much control over you, then what they can do is control the way that people see you and how they treat you by going on a smear campaign. I know this all too well. So to keep the peace, it's just you just suck it up. And sometimes that older sibling is very good at hiding the BS that they do. They're real good at dog whistles because, again, dog whistles are only meant for one person to hear it. Which is why when people say stuff to people and everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're overreacting because you don't know the backstory behind it. Nevertheless, I get all of that. I know, and y'all can see I'm talking from experience. I know it all too well. What my problem is, we never heard her say any of this until things started getting spicy with Kathy last season. Because you had her on before. All lovey, all this other stuff. And then when Erica let it slip that you were happy to see your sister, finally being seen for who, because again, we do have people that were, again, I got one where I'm not going to say everybody, like those that are close enough, they see how he is. They're just not going to challenge him because he's not on the patriarch of my immediate family, but of, the collective. Nobody's really going to challenge him but me. So, and then for everyone else who's not that close, yeah, they're definitely not going to see it. And those moments where he lets the facade slip, oh yeah, I like for it to happen because it's like y'all can finally see what I've been talking about because y'all really think I'm crazy. But I'm never sitting here pretending as if everything is hunky dory. I'm not finished. I'm not a clown. I'm not wearing no makeup to sit here and, present it like y'all might be a part of the circus. I'm not a part of the circus. So for that, I get Kyle. Where I don't get Kyle is, like I said, you never said none of this. And then when you see these women are attacking your sister, coming for her neck, literally what you did to Kathy is the same thing you did to Kim. You let them go after Kim. The only thing is Kim let you live. Kathy wasn't finna let you live. There's the difference right there, right? So, no, I don't. And even Kathy told her when the reunion was ending, you didn't say 2 words. Whereas you clearly see these 2 women are coming for my neck and you just sitting there crying. Or it's the whole, oh, I said I didn't hear that. Like that's supposed to make stuff better because, again, Kyle's floating between trying to have this family relationship and having this alliance on this show. But anyway, whatever. So back to the scene. Sutton wants the group to be better as a collective. They hug. So now we get Sutton talking to her property manager about, the horse issue, which is funny. Lets us know she grew up riding horses and whatnot and decided that she wanted to buy instead of lease one. If you got the money, everybody know it ain't tricking if you got it. So Jennifer Tilly, her friend, stops by. Sutton tells us that, one time they're on the fly and she had salted caramel. Was it salted caramel? She had salted caramel, mistaken them for earbuds. I don't know how. And then end up putting them in her ear and they was hard to get out. I like Kooky Sutton. I do. I just love that about her. But I'm just sitting here like, how, Sway? How you get salted caramel confused with earbuds? But whatever. So Avi, that is her assistant as property manager, behind the scenes, because she's doing her interview, sits here and runs down all of his titles and suddenly says, I'm on camera, not you. I like his personality. And sometimes when we get these people close to like the main cast, I do like to see more of them, but sometimes they'll get the fame bug and start doing way too much. So, but I like her. So Sutton is happy that her store has thrived these 4 years and wants to show her success to her ex-husband. Sutton shares, she was married. In the beginning, they were on equal footing. Then she got pregnant, and he pretty much told her that, okay, well, you're not going to go back to work. You're going to pretty much raise the kids. And from there, she was given an allowance. And then at one point, he would take it from her. Pretty much a power move. This happens a lot in relationships and marriage, especially if you talk to a lot of older folks. Because, I remember my mom telling me, randomly, I don't even know why she would even reveal this to me, but her mom had a red car, and whenever her mom wouldn't quote unquote act right, her father would take the keys and wouldn't allow her to drive. And obviously that has shaped my mom to be the independent woman that she is. And even Sutton's whole thing is making sure that her kids can see that she can live on her own and, independent of that spousal support. 300,000 a month in spouse support. Go ahead, Sutton. Go ahead. But let me see. But she was saying when the allowance was taken away from her, she said that it will never happen again. And, Sutton wants her husband, in essence, to validate her. But my whole thing is, Sutton, why? If you know you that girl, if you know you doing what needs to be done, you don't need him to sign off saying, oh, I do remember you used to work and da-da-da-da, because of where you live in. And again, that shows where you pretty much put your treasure and whatnot. You value his opinion more than your own existence. I hope I'm wrong. So Erica is with her therapist, and, she says she's indifferent, with everyone and whatnot. And it's hard to deal I'm sorry. No, she says with the indictment. I don't know why I said it different. With the indictment, when it happened, it was everywhere, and it was hard to deal with. And she's happy she's no longer attached to it, but that doesn't change how people see her. And Erica knows that Tom will eventually die, and wonders how that grief will hit her. And look, I understand that too, not that perspective, but having someone that you have an estranged relationship with, not knowing how that person's death is going to hit you until you get the news. Because I'm speaking about my father, we did not have the greatest of relationships, but when I got that message, oh, I was a hot mess. I was in the company, boo-hoo crying, had to go to the class 6 trying to buy some stuff to, some liquor and whatnot, a common earth, and I'm standing in the line getting ready to check out, trying to hold back the tears. I don't want people to look at me like, what the hell is going on with this kid? Look, I get it. I get it. And then the therapist tries to get her to understand empathy and taking the high road, because Erica doesn't understand it, which is funny because during the reunion, you were saying that you had empathy for all the victims, but now you don't know what empathy is. Right. So we get Dorit and Kyle. Kyle is 7.5 months, free of alcohol. And she saw Kathy at Sutton's party. They're pretty much cordial, but she refused to be mistreated at this stage of her life, which is fine. Which is fine. But see, the thing is, when you make these stances and whatnot, you have to be ready for everything that comes with it. Because a lot of the times we talk about protecting your peace, protecting your energy, cutting ties and whatnot. And again, people will make it seem like it's a beautiful thing. The peace that eventually comes with it, because you're going to mourn that the death of that relationship. Trust me when I say. And it's going to be a whole lot of bumps and whatnot. Is having to reinforce boundaries that have been set, like the whole nine. But once you get to that place to where you're now whole, it's a beautiful thing. It's just a process in between. So I hear what she's saying, but I hope she knows it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. And Dorit shares, having a difficult year with the whole PTSD, and then with PK being gone to London all the time, and wondering like if their marriage was going to make it or whatnot, which is letting us know that, okay, there's trouble in paradise there. But then Kyle even says, yeah, because, Mauricio and I, we've been through the same thing. That's a real heavy foreshadow. And Dorit says, it wasn't like an incident that has gotten her to this place, but it's just something that has accumulated over time. And she just needs, more from him. So this is the part where I think a lot of us going to have to agree to disagree with this answer. So we get Garcel with her children, Jax and Jade. So I laughed because they were getting gas and Jax lost rock, paper, scissors. So he had to, put gas in the car, did not know what he was doing because, Garcel's walking him through it or talking him through it. And then he ends up spilling gasoline on the ground and he's scared like, oh, are we going to blow up or something? Like it was so funny and cute. I enjoy that scene. So then they have lunch at the beach because she's trying to spend quality time with them, when she can, because, she's a working mom. So the boys prefer to be pretty much with their mother rather than the father for the most part. And, it's pretty much the work schedule. And, she wants them to, pretty much be vocal with their concerns. And she even said how we run our household. Now, I say all the time, kids are tiny humans. And adults need to get out of this mindset that children are something to dominate and to control. At the same time of me saying that, Garcel, baby girl, what you mean about how y'all run y'all household? Okay. I'm just saying, I'm all for gentle parenting and whatnot, but come on, man, I'm doing too much. Bring it back. So, Jax wants more freedom. Garcel feels that he will not let her parent him. Like when he's sick and she trying to take his temperature and this, that, and third. And then Jax says he needed that from her 2 years ago instead of now. Now, I'm going to preface what I'm about to say with this. Though I believe everything that Jax is saying, there was some venom and vitriol in how he delivered that, what he's delivering to his mother. It was some there. Because again, when you're hurt, it just is what it is. Even though he said it wasn't meant to hurt her, he's lying. He meant that to sting. Maybe not to like truly break her. That was meant to sting. Part of me feels his father might be in his ear. I don't know. But yeah, there was a little bit of venom there. And what I'm thinking is with the timeline, I think it was her because I said she's on this show. Like the last he is on this show, she's doing the real, even when she was doing it at home. And this because what he's saying is, I'm getting the feeling that is when she was there, she wasn't present enough. And either they left a lot on the cutting room floor, which more than likely because Garcelle wasn't asking a lot of probing questions. She wasn't digging deeper because it could be that maybe she knows what he's talking about. I don't know. But I'm like, And also last year, when the whole thing happened with Erica cursing at him, and Garcelle did not give us she popped off at the reunion, but that was one of those where it's a little too late. And then you had the bot situation, and then it was like I know the last year probably really made him have to grow up faster than what he really wanted to. So I think it's probably a combination of her work schedule intensifying with her joining the show. And then last year, what he had to go through, because he went through it, not his brother Jade. So I think that is it. And maybe, just maybe, if it was said, it was edited out because, again, Diana's no longer on the show. So, let's not even shake that hornet's nest. That's what I'm thinking, right? And he said, I had to learn on my own how to be an adult or how to parent. And it's one of those where it's just like, I don't quite believe that. I think that's putting, because again, that part right there, I felt was really meant to like sting at her. Like that was a jab. But I'm like, okay. And here's the thing. He's entitled to his feelings. I know a lot of parents don't want to ever have to hear their children say that you suck as a parent. Every child has that right to say that. You cannot invalidate that child's experience nor their feelings. And what do you care more about, your ego or the feelings of your child and what you may have put them through or had them go through? So, yeah, because I know there's a lot of reviewers that was just like, I take everything away and this, that, and third. And that right there concerns me because it's like, so if your child comes to you, even if that child is jabbing you, your child is coming to you with how they feel that you have been giving you your parent report card. And rather than take it, internalize it, and trying to do better, your instinct is, okay, well, since you feel you're an adult, I'm going to make you an adult. Like, yeah. Again, I'm different. Okay. And also, we don't know what all that he has had to go through. Again, I really do feel that he's probably just saying that you're here, but you're not present. And let's be clear, a lot of us, we have working parents. Like I said, my mom obviously was a working single parent. Got it. Do I wish she was around more? Yes. As I got older, did I understand why she wasn't here? Yes. Were there times where I felt that, because here's the thing, she's in the house, but was she present with me? No. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can have these conversations. It's just the parent has to be open to hearing it. And if you as a parent can sit here and give the 10th degree to your child, you know what? We're not even going there because now I know about to back to my notes. Back to my notes. Garcelle asked, is he saying she wasn't his mom then? He was like, yeah. That yeah was, I was like, ooh, that was a good punch. And he said his intent isn't to hurt her, BS. But, what needs to be said, needs to be said. Facts. And guess what? Sometimes, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes when I got to tell the truth, I'm not worried about how it's coming out and I'm not worried about your feelings because when you telling me the truth and you the parent, you're the elder, you're not worried about how you're saying it to me. But again, different type of person. So Garcel apologizes. And Jack says that, he's glad both parties, can admit fault and move on. Jay is in La La Land because he just in love and lust. But there was a moment when Jax was saying what he was saying. Jay kind of gave him the look of, it was one of two things. It was either, bro, you lie, or B, oh, you finna air this out right here in front of the cameras? It was one of the two. I don't know. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about it because I know y'all will. So we get Kyle and Mauricio. Kyle pretty much hurries him off the phone. And she says, it's bad when we have to schedule time to go over our schedules with each other. They're busy. Yeah. And Mauricio compliments her, mentions that, she's been working out, eating well, and not drinking. And I'm just like, Mauricio, you don't see the signs, bro? You don't see the signs, because women see it all the time when they man go from being lethargic and everything to all of a sudden working out, taking more care of what we wear, putting on different brand of cologne, all this other stuff. Like, you ain't okay. So either you ain't noticing or you just don't care. I don't know. So let me see. And then he asked her how many tats she has, and she says 5. And he was like, I only knew of 3. And she replies, maybe you need to look at my body closer. Pretty much implying that they ain't been touching on each other. And I'm like, ooh, burn. And then, he says, okay, 5 is enough. And she wants more. He says, I will not allow it. Now, right there, Mauricio, you had me messed up. Now, look, I am not Kyle's biggest fan, but what you mean? You won't allow, bro. I'm gonna need for you to come all the way off that high horse. Okay, again, I may not like Kyle, but still, what the hell you mean? Like, bro, we are not in the 1950s, 1940s. Stop it. And Kyle tells him, he doesn't have a choice. And she's at the point where no one will tell her what to do, and she doesn't have to answer to anyone. And I'm here for it. But again, Kyle, you brought some of this on yourself. But anyway, y'all, that is my review. Thought it would be longer, but I think this is good. I'm not going to stress this out any longer. I can't wait to hear y'all's commentary about some of what I say, primarily when it comes to Garcel and the kids. But again, we can agree to disagree. Let's just be respectful of each other. And more often than not, even if y'all just please be respectful of each other in the comments. Now, if y'all want to come for me, hey, try me if you want to, but don't come for other people in the comments. That part I'm not a fan of. All right. But with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Be back here next Sunday. If I don't do a Sunday night, hopefully early Monday morning. Or yeah, it would have to be, or like right before we do the panel for Potomac. And then there is a Whether You Like It or Not panel next Monday. So not tomorrow, but next Monday. I'm pretty sure it'll be on Scotty's channel. We're going to be, promoting all this week. But make sure you're there. We're going to have a great time. So with that being said, you all, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see y'all for the next video. Peace.